Children who enter the foster care system have all experienced some form of abuse or neglect. Most of these experiences are traumatic and have an impact on the child both emotionally and developmentally. There are 4 permanency options for children who are in foster care. These are reunification, adoption, guardianship, and another planned permanent living arrangement, APLA.
When children are removed from their families, reunification is always the first permanency option. Placement with relatives is always a priority. If no relatives are available, then children are placed with a licensed foster parent. Services and assistance are provided to the family in order to correct the conditions that were putting the child in danger and create an environment which is safe and healthy for the child to return to. Parents have at least 12 months to correct the conditions that led to the child's removal. Sometimes there are circumstances, such as incarceration, for which the judge will order additional time for the parent to correct the conditions.
When a child cannot be returned safely to their parents, another adult can take guardianship of the child. Sometimes this corrects the conditions that led to the removal and the case can be closed. But guardianship is not considered to be as permanent as adoption, and for children who are in the guardianship of the state, it is not considered to be the best option. There are occasions where it is appropriate plan for the child or youth. Another planned permanent living arrangement is similar to what was once called long-term foster care. But when a child has a goal of APLA, the child's worker goes to great lengths to find adults who are committed to having a long-term relationship with the youth and providing them with stability and assistance needed for them to achieve positive outcomes in adulthood. This is considered the least permanent permanency goal, and federal law stipulates that in 2016, only children aged 16 or over will be allowed to have that goal. This goal might be used for an older youth who does not want to be adopted and has strong connections with birth family, or for a child who has very extensive medical or developmental needs that may be very difficult to meet in a family home.
When children cannot return to their family of origin, adoption is considered to be the most permanent and the preferred permanency option. Relatives are always considered, and priority is given to finding a relative willing to adopt. When that can't happen, foster parents are the preferred adoptive placement. Once finalized, adopted children are considered to be the children of the adoptive parent, just as though they were born to them. This is the kind of permanency that all children need to grow and to thrive.
Many children want to know how long it takes for a child who enters foster care to become legally free for adoption. This is a very difficult question to answer. Every case is different, and they all have their own timelines. This chart depicts all the variables which can impact the amount of time that it takes a child to achieve the permanency goal of adoption. Many people assume that because birth parents have 12 months to correct the conditions, that children can be adopted after they have been in care for 12 months. This is not the case. Some children will achieve permanency in as little as 20 months, but the majority of children will have an adoption finalized by the time they have been in care for 30 months. That time frame can become longer based on many factors as shown in this chart. There are many differences between foster care and adoption. Some of those differences are listed here. Can you think of others? What are some similarities between foster care and adoption?